conservative new media viewers and LA Lakers fans around the world. What's going on? We're here to talk about the Lakers' 108-103 loss today to the Toronto Raptors in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. With the loss, the Lakers are now 17-23 on the year, and they have lost 8 of their last 10 games. Toronto improves to 15-26 with the victory. Now, before we read too much into this game, I want to say this. This was an early game. This started at 1 p.m. Eastern Time in the United States. Teams are not used to playing that early. They don't play that early with any regularity. And so, particularly for a West Coast team. So basically, the Lakers were playing at 10 a.m. West Coast time. And I'm sure that had an effect on them. So I just want to say that before I talk about the rest of this game. Now, as I reported earlier in another video, Dwight Howard got ejected from this game near halftime, right late in the second quarter. He got a technical in the first quarter, and then he and another player from the from the Raptors, got a technical late in the first half for elbowing or talking. It didn't look like that much, but it was a second technical, and he got kicked out of the game, and that hurt the Lakers. The Lakers started very poorly in this game. They were down by 17 points pretty quickly, in the first quarter. So they were playing from behind pretty much the whole game. Now, they kind of caught up in the third quarter, but in the fourth quarter, the Raptors got even more of a lead. The Raptors went up by 19 points. And this game looked like it was just a joke. It was a laugher. Then the Lakers came roaring back and got it down to a 2-point game. But the Raptors held them off, and he ended up getting the win. Now, a couple times this year, the Lakers have come back in games and nearly won them. They did it against Oklahoma City. They did it against the Spurs the second time they played the Spurs. I think they did it against the Clippers. And they did it against Golden State. And in the game against Golden State, which was in Golden State, the second game those two teams played this year, the Lakers won. That's the only time I can think of this year where the Lakers made a big comeback and they won the game. Now, I'm going to tell you the reason why I think this happens. Mike D'Antoni's offense is all about scoring. His whole scheme is about scoring. So what happens when you play the Lakers is that you can never have a big enough lead. And if you let off the gas, they're going to start scoring. And so you will see this with this team where they'll get behind by a big amount, but then they'll come back. And that's what happened in this game. The problem with it is that once teams know that, then it won't happen the second time. It won't happen the second time around. And that's a real problem. It works once, but that's about it. Kobe looked tired in this game. He looked real tired, actually. I think he's starting to hit a physical wall between his age and how many minutes he's playing. He's playing heavy minutes. In the last game or two, he looked like his shot's off, his legs are getting tired. And late in this game, he looked really bad. He was trying to guard Jose Calderon, and his legs looked dead. Calderon was just leaving him in the dust. It was sad, honestly. If you're a Kobe fan, it was sad to watch. He just didn't have anything. Now, Kobe was a big part of the comeback. He had a bunch of plays on offense, but on defense, he's just tired. He played 42, 43 minutes in this game. And Mike D'Antoni's going to have to find a way to get Kobe more rest. Kobe's not 25 years old anymore. He's 34 with a huge amount of mileage on him. You can't keep doing this to Kobe. You can't do it. Physically, it's just not. It's not going to work. You're starting to see that, and I thought you really saw it in this game. And they need to figure something out with that because it could get pretty ugly if they don't. I think a great thing from this game for the Lakers is that Powell played really well. I think he had 25 points. Why? Because he got to play close to the basket. Even before Dwight Howard got kicked out, Powell was getting more touches by the basket. That's what he needs to do. That's what you have to do with him. And that worked today. So that's a good thing. Now, since the Cleveland game, I think 3 games ago, Kobe's been working as more of the defensive stopper, guarding the other team's best perimeter player. It worked well against Cleveland. It worked well against Milwaukee. It didn't work well against the Heat, and it didn't work well today against Jose Calderon. Calderon outplayed Kobe in this game. And if you add up all the good statistics and subtract the negative statistics, that gives you what is known as the raw efficiency number. It's not the same as player efficiency rating, but it's very close. It's a very similar number. So the efficiency numbers in this game for Calderon and Kobe were 24 for Calderon and 10 for Kobe. That just gives you an idea of how they played. Even though Kobe scored a few more points, but he shot about twice as much as Calderon did. So, as I said, I mean, I don't know if Jody Meeks is in the doghouse or whatever with D'Antoni, but they really need to let Kobe rest more. I think that's going to be really important. Unfortunately, this game, I'm not going to say it's the final straw. Now the Lakers are 6 games under 500. The good thing for the Lakers is everybody at the bottom of the Western Conference playoff standings is playing poorly. Houston's lost 7 straight games. Portland's lost like 5 straight games. Nobody can play well right now. So the Lakers aren't out of it, but this is going to hurt them significantly. Their next 2 games are at Chicago and at Memphis. Those are both going to be difficult games. And they're running out of time. I mean, they're running out of games. Where this is the 40th game. There are 82 games in the season, so 41 games is halfway of the season. We're basically 1 game away from halfway of the season. The Lakers are 6 games under 500. They're going to have a difficult time making the playoffs. I mean, it's going to be very difficult from here. And unfortunately for the Lakers fans, if the Lakers don't make the playoffs this year, then Kobe's going to take a big hit, his reputation, a really big hit. Whether it's fair or not, that's just the way it goes. It's just the way it goes. It's like when the Heat didn't win the title 2 years ago. Oh, LeBron failed. He's a failure. That's going to happen to Kobe this year if they don't make the playoffs. So they just need to figure out a way to, I don't know, maybe they need to make a trade or trades. They got to figure out something because whatever they're doing right now isn't working. And like I said, there's no more time for moral victories. You're just running out of games. And if a couple of teams get hot, like Dallas or even Houston again, Lakers are not going to have a chance to make the postseason. And, this team is talented, very talented. If they make the postseason, then anything can happen. But you got to make it. So this was a very, I don't know. In a lot of ways, I think this might be the worst loss of the year, just given all the circumstances. And Dwight, you can't get kicked out of this game. You just, I know it might not have been a fair call, but you just can't put yourself in that position. And I'm telling you, Dwight's going to catch a lot of grief for that, and he should. You can't do that. You can't do that. Not when you're fighting for a playoff spot like this team is. Gamer 2.0, man, I don't think you shouldn't retire or anything. But it's just, it just might be one of those years for the Lakers. And it happens. It happens to, even if you're a great franchise, you're just going to have your down years. And look, this team has had 2 coaches this year, actually 3, with Bickerstaff in the interim. You're bringing in a whole bunch of new players. It doesn't matter how good they are. They're not used to playing with each other. What happened with Boston in 2008, where everything worked great and they won whatever it was, 66 games, that's the exception. That almost never happens. And, what you're seeing right now is not totally surprising. It's not fun if you're a Lakers fan, but I will say this. Look, the Lakers, they still could do it this year. They can still turn around. They should be a lot better next year, much better, once they start getting used to one another. But for today, this was a tough loss. Kobe needs rest. Dwight shouldn't have gotten himself kicked out of this game. And there's going to be a lot of questions now. And believe me, I'm not going to mention the person's name, but somebody put out a tweet. Somebody that's, they're connected to somebody huge in the NBA. I'll just put it that way. And, there's a lot of people, there's a lot of vultures waiting for this to fall apart for the Lakers. So you have to understand that. That's the nature of the business. If this thing doesn't work out, there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be pretty happy about that. So, that's just the way it goes. Just the way people were happy when the Heat didn't win the title 2 years ago. So that's the wrap up for now. We will give information in the video description below the video player for game highlights and box score and game stories about this game. We will also include information about how you can join the Conservative New Media Facebook group, which has over 2,000 members and growing. We'd love to have you come join that. Your comments below, thumbs up, thumbs down on this video. I am Paul at Villarreal, the NBA expert. I hope everybody's having a great day or night wherever you are in the world when you watch this video. Take care. We will talk to you again soon.